Welcome back to Wheel Rev. And when you first think the 2026 Royal Enfield Continental GT 650 is the kind of motorcycle that doesn't just roll into a scene, it owns it, blending heritage craftsmanship with a bold, artistic twist that transforms a classic Café copyright racer into a modern expression of style and performance. And in this script we dive into every inch of what makes it such a standout machine. Beginning with that first impression when you see it standing in natural light, the iconic tank silhouette glistening and the special Chanel Wheel Rev finish immediately commanding attention as the polished wheels rotate with a gleam that elevates the bike from mechanical beauty to aesthetic statement, drawing the eye before the engine even starts. Once the camera sweeps along the body, you'll notice how the 2026 redesign doesn't depart from the GT's heritage but refines it with sleeker lines, a slightly more muscular stance, a more contoured fuel tank that naturally embraces the rider's knees, and a seat profile crafted to match both aggressive Café copyright racer bravado and everyday comfort, with upgraded cushioning that makes long rides genuinely enjoyable without sacrificing its signature long and low riding posture. The lighting upgrades are subtle but important. Full LED illumination with a crisp DRL halo that brightens the front end and gives the motorcycle a more assertive presence during day or night rides, while still keeping the overall look rooted in retro inspiration. As the video transitions to the features section, the script emphasizes that the 2026 GT 650 doesn't chase excessive electronics but introduces meaningful enhancements. The analog-digital cluster now offers a cleaner interface, small but functional navigation prompts via Bluetooth, call alerts for convenience, and slightly refined backlighting that improves visibility during late-night journeys, plus the addition of a discrete traction control system that blends seamlessly into the ride experience, stepping in only when the surface becomes unpredictable, preserving the raw feeling riders love while giving them added confidence. The inclusion of a slipper clutch creates noticeably smoother downshifts, especially when riding aggressively on twisty roads, and the upgraded suspension system with improved damping characteristics and more responsive preload settings gives the bike a more composed and planted feel whether you're leaning into sharp bends or cruising on straighter highways, while USB-C charging now sits discreetly near the cockpit for powering devices on the go, appealing especially to touring and commuting riders. As the script moves into performance, the 648cc parallel twin-engine takes center stage, described in the narration with a sense of warmth and authenticity because this power plant is the soul of the Continental GT series, and in 2026, it feels smoother, more refined, and more eager thanks to updated engine mapping and cooling improvements that allow more consistent performance in heavy traffic or high-temperature conditions. The torque delivery remains one of the bike's strongest attributes, immediate and satisfying from the mid-range where most riders spend their time, giving the GT 650 the kind of confident acceleration that makes city passing, spirited weekend rides, and even relaxed highway stretches feel enjoyable and effortless. The exhaust note, tuned to produce a deeper and more resonant growl, becomes a character in itself, as the video would show. Hearing that signature thump bouncing off buildings or echoing across empty countryside roads adds an emotional layer to the experience, making every throttle twist feel personal and engaging. Shifting through the gearbox feels more precise this year, with cleaner engagements that make the GT feel more premium and more cooperative during fast-paced riding. The handling segment of the script highlights how the low-slung stance, subtly revised geometry, and suspension improvements all combine to give the rider confidence in corners, not razor-edged like super sports but wonderfully predictable and enjoyable, making the motorcycle an extension of the rider's body rather than a machine that has to be wrestled. Braking improvements with larger rotors provide stronger bite and better modulation, ensuring controlled stops whether navigating tight urban environments or descending hilly roads at higher speeds. The video then transitions into the unique selling points, explaining that what separates the Continental GT 650 from many modern motorcycles is its refusal to abandon the purity of motorcycling. It is not a gadget-laden machine, it is not trying to be a sport bike, and it is certainly not for riders who want layers of digital control between themselves and the road. Instead, it offers a charmingly mechanical experience, A true rider's machine enhanced for 2026 with just the right amount of refinement, and the Chanel Wheel Rev edition amplifies its appeal with exclusive custom aesthetic elements that transform the bike into a rolling piece of art, the kind of edition that collectors and style-focused riders seek because it offers something visually iconic and different from the standard trims. As the script approaches pricing, the narrator mentions that the 2026 Royal Enfield Continental GT 650 sits in an estimated range of $7,300 to $7,700 depending on location and dealer variations, while the Chanel Wheel Rev Special Edition, because of the custom wheels and limited run finish, comes in slightly higher at roughly $8,000 to $8,200. Still making it one of the most accessible twin-cylinder Café copyright tracer motorcycles with this level of craftsmanship and visual character. Closing the script, the camera slowly pulls away from the bike as the sunlight reflects off the wheels and the exhaust note fades in the background, and the narrator reinforces that the Continental GT 650 isn't built for riders who chase numbers, it's built for riders who chase feeling, who appreciate the bond with a machine that respects history while embracing the present, who want a motorcycle that invites you to lean forward, grip the tank, listen to the heartbeat of a parallel twin, and disappear down the road with nothing but throttle, wind, and intention, making the 2026 Continental GT 650 for Chanel Wheel Rev not simply a purchase but a personal statement, a blend of mechanical soul, modern refinement, and timeless Café copyright tracer attitude in a world that increasingly forgets what pure riding is supposed to feel like.